I would like you all to flash back with me to June 11th, 2020. Summer of 2020. We're in the midst of COVID. Everyone's stuck inside. And they just want to play some good games. On June 11th, the PlayStation 5 was revealed. And along with the reveal, we got many games announced. The sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, huge hit. Of course, the sequel will be announced for the PlayStation 5. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, again, plus Spider-Man was a huge hit. Makes sense that Sony would announce it with the PlayStation 5. Resident Evil 8, The Village, oh yeah, great game. Or, I haven't played it, but I know a lot of people really, really like it. So, yeah, of course, that would be released. Demon's Souls remake, yeah, Demon's Souls is super important. Laid the groundwork for the whole Soulsborne series. Makes sense a remake would be announced. Hitman 3, oh yeah, huge franchise Hitman. People were dying to see Hitman 3. Of course it'd be announced. Stray, yeah, when it was announced, people weren't too crazy about it. But the game itself ended up being amazing. So, yeah, probably for the best that it was announced with the PlayStation 5. But then, around the end of the event, between Spider-Man and Horizon and Hitman and Resident Evil, Goodbye Volcano High was announced for mid-2021. And if you're like me, you probably thought, what the fuck is this? What is this furry bait? What is this emo teen drama it looks like? Well, Goodbye Volcano High. We're on the official website right now. Here's the whole story. Love like the world is ending. It's the final year of high school, and graduation looms on the horizon. Will the students of Volcano High have enough time to figure themselves out before it's all over? Is it too late to tell their crush how they feel? And are they even ready for what comes next? Goodbye Volcano High is a cinematic narrative about the end of an era and the beginning of a love story. Ooh. Yes, here's the thing. This game takes place... the main character is that chick right there. Her name is Fang. I don't know what her real name is, but she chooses to go by Fang. She is a non-binary pterodactyl. Immediately when I heard that, I thought, who the fuck is gonna play this? And now that it came out, we now know no one played it. Or the people who... very few people played it. This game is fucking travesty. Terrible voice acting, terrible music. It was pushed back 2 years. It was supposed to come out in 2021. Came out a month ago, 2023. And sure enough, people hate it. It's not a good game. Only the dick writers are putting out... well, it's not for... even the dick writers are putting out reviews. They're like, yeah, no, it's good, it's fine. Like, it's not that great. But, it's got good representation. Which, like, I'm not one of those grifters who goes on and on about, oh, this game is a transgender character. No, I don't give a shit. That's everywhere. I could point to way bigger, offenders, if I want to point at transgender inclusion or whatever. This game is just fucking annoying about it. And even then, there are very few things to say what's good about this game. For one, narrative-driven. Narrative-driven games. Ooh, man. Some of my favorite games are narrative-driven. Some of my favorite games are multiple choice. Choose-your-own-adventure type things. Like Telltale's The Walking Dead. Oh, man. That's still one of the greatest games I've ever played. Amazing story. Amazing characters. Gut-punching drama. Pretty funny humor when it wants to have it. How about Until Dawn? Ooh, a horror narrative-driven game. Starring Rami Malek and... oh, so good. Your choices actually matter. Oh, man. One fuck up and it changes the ending. Everyone could survive, or no one can survive, or just a few people can survive, or just a few of these other people can survive. No, there's multiple different endings to get. Sure, it's the same conclusion, but, at least the endings are different, depending on how you play it. Let's see, how about probably the best known one since recently? Detroit Become Human. That is multiple endings. With the other ones, it's, you can make multiple choices and some things can end differently, but in the end it's still the same ending. Not Detroit Become Human, which is also a PlayStation exclusive. Detroit Become Human has entirely different sets for entirely different endings, for entirely different ways to play the game. That is a perfect multiple choice game. Perfect drama, perfect humor, perfect characters. Oh man. Amazing. This game, on the other hand, has one ending. Doesn't matter what choices you make. One ending. It all ends the same. One single way. How about just the smaller choices, the dialogue choices? You could choose to say, I don't know, you can choose to help your character's brother, Fang's brother. It'll say, yeah, I'll help, or no, I don't want to help, or why would I want to help, or could you just do it yourself, or I could do it myself. Doesn't matter what you pick. It'll say the same thing. Very few choices in this game have absolutely different outcomes, Very few choices in this game are actual choices. There are actually some segments of the game where you go to choose something and it'll turn into TV static and it'll say, nah, I don't want to say that. That'd be too mean. I don't want to say that. What if I want to say it? What if I actually want to say, go fuck yourself? What if I actually want to say, get bent, bitch? What if I actually want to say that shit? Well, the game won't let you say it. And I find that annoying. And look, they even admit it down at the bottom of their FAQ. They do a huge Q&A about Volcano High. At the very bottom, they say, does Goodbye Volcano High have multiple endings? There are multiple paths within the game, if you want to call it that, depending on which characters the player grows closer to, but there is only one ending. Bull fucking shit. Dude, it's the same fucking paths. Now, I'm going to admit, I've never played the game. I have not played it. And you might say, oh, well, Brax, if you never played it, then you don't really have a right to talk about it like this. Which, yeah, if it was any other game, you'd probably be right. But like I said, this game is just one single fucking storyline going right down a row. Yeah, it branches off a tiny bit in some parts, but it always comes back to the same line, heading in the same direction, to the same conclusion. The story of this game is an interesting setup. Dinosaur teenagers who are about to get killed by the asteroid. That is interesting. These teenagers are going to die, man. There's no way to get across it. But no one gives a shit. These people are going to be dead within months. And nobody fucking cares. You know what they do? This game is 5 hours long. And for 2 of those 5 hours, you play Dungeons and Dragons. Now, this may be a controversial take, but I don't really give a shit about Dungeons and Dragons. Never played it. Never really cared to play it. I think the idea is cool. People getting together to just play a improv game. Not all D&D games are improv, I know that, but the improv ones actually do look fun to me. Why would I want to play D&D in this game where my character is dealing with a legitimate existential crisis? She is going to die. Her friends are going to die. Her family's going to die. Everyone in the world is going to fucking die. Why would I want to play D&D? Well, when I could, deal with that. You know what the main focus of the story is? The main focus is they want to set up a concert. Everyone's gonna fucking die. You may never see your parents again. You may never see, I don't know, just friends and family, extended family in general again. And like I said, I cannot stress this enough. Everyone is going to fucking die. And your character, Fang, the girl on the right, her main concern is setting up a concert for her band, which includes the purple Stegosaurus chick and the pink Velociraptor dude. It's absurd to me. It's completely unrealistic. Her biggest concern is the band, is the concert that she wants to set up. It's frankly kind of infuriating. And you may be wondering, oh, well, how do you know so much? I watched 2 separate full playthroughs. One by just this random YouTuber. I don't know who they are. They just played the game. The other full playthrough I watched was by these men from a company called Cave Manon Studios. And the people at Cave Manon Studios made this Snoot game. Back when Goodbye Volcano High was originally announced and pushed back, these developers thought, man, what a stupid game that must be. Let's make our own version. So they took a bunch of assets, made their own art for it, and they made a romance simulator, or a kind of a rom-com type thing, where you play as the dude in the bottom left and the dude in the top right with the pale face. And Anonymous. His name is Anonymous. It's one of those things that's so stupid it's funny. And this game is supposed to be funny. And it is funny when it wants to be. It's very, very funny when it wants to be. However, it's also dramatic. It has an actual, really, really good investing story. That's what I love. Great comedy, great drama. I love a perfect mix. This game has that. It is gut-bustingly funny when it wants to be. Like, it has a fucking Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force in it. It's got Professor Farnsworth, but as a dinosaur from Futurama in it. It's just funny, man. And they make cracks at Goodbye Volcano High and their developers. The developers of Goodbye Volcano High, but on the other hand, known as co_op or co-op. And about 30 Canadians making one game. This Snoot game is just 4 dudes from 4chan who thought it'd be funny. And let's take a look at the websites. This is the website for Snoot game. That's it. This is everything. It's got a download link, got some Bitcoin stuff, just some more Dogecoin, some, man, I don't know what the fuck they're called. Not NFTs, whatever, virtual currency. There's some community stuff, the source code, legal stuff, explaining how they're allowed to do it. And they got, the download stuff. And that's it. This is it. This is what it looks like. It's got 4 pictures and just a bunch of text. And this is Goodbye Volcano High's thing. Much more pretty. Got an actual video with the trailer on their website, kind of explaining the story. Yeah, it looks good. Real good. And then they got this whole other part of the website where, you ask questions and they answer it. They don't do it anymore. Basically saying available on PlayStation 4, 5, and Steam. So technically it's a PlayStation exclusive, but you can play it on Steam. It's $40, by the way. Goodbye Volcano High. It's $40. Snoot game is completely free. They just ask that you support them. Spread the word. Have people play the game. And like I said, this game is actually funny. It's actually dramatic. I actually care about the characters. It's the same characters for the most part. Most part, it's the same characters that are in both games. I don't know how they're allowed to do that, but apparently they are. And maybe it's because they're not selling it for a profit. Man, the people on co-op are fucking pissed about the success of this game. Because this game is very successful. Sort of in an underground way, or if you're kind of deep into the internet lore, you'll hear about it. But it's very, very good. And here's another thing that it differs greatly. This game is multiple choice, but your choices actually matter. Your choices could end up completely ruining or lifting up the lives of the people around you. I'm not going to get into too much spoilers, but there are 4 endings. Ending 4, which is the best ending. Ending 3, which is like, kind of bittersweet. It's good ending, but, it could definitely be better. Ending 2, which is a pretty damn bad and depressing ending. And ending 1, which is absolutely, without a doubt, the worst possible ending. Like, holy fuck. It gets dark. People get fucked up. It's rough. Pretty heavy content. So maybe avoid ending 1 if you can. Just make good choices, man. And man, yeah, like I said, the characters in Goodbye Volcano High are the exact same characters in the Snoot game. But the characters are way, way more interesting in Snoot game. They're fleshed out, they're very interesting, they're funny, they provide for good storytelling. They're just not that in Goodbye Volcano High. Now we're going to move over to an article by Kotaku, which is a company that I do not like, but I am willing to put up a white flag, just for now, as we read this article. The anti-fan game. PlayStation developer defies 4chan harassment troll project. Yeah, it's the perfect way. And yeah, they're shitting on the 4chan developers, the caveman developers. Don't be fooled. The image above is not from Goodbye Volcano High, the yet-to-be-released queer-representing visual novel from the indie studio Co-op. It is, in fact, a screenshot from a fan project, Snoot Game, created by an anonymous developer and released last November, although fan might not be the right term to use. It's an extraordinary situation where bigoted and angry response game came out over a year ahead of the game it was inspired by. The anti-LGBT 4chan project has created a consternation for both Goodbye Volcano High's original developers and its community. Alright, the anti-LGBT stuff. Yeah, it kind of is. Because, the best game starts out how Goodbye Volcano High starts out. These 3 are in a band, chick up front, Fang, she's non-binary in both the beginning of Snoot Game and all of Goodbye Volcano High. The best ending in Snoot Game has her not being non-binary anymore. She's completely straight, cisgender, that's how she identifies. The bad ending has her going all in. Basically saying, yeah, I'm definitely transgender, hell, oh no, I'm definitely non-binary, hell, I might be transgender. Shit like that. So it says, good ending, she becomes straight and cisgender. Bad ending, she stays non-binary. So, yeah, you can make that argument. But it's kind of funny, you just see the reaction. In between the bigger titles announced at a 2020 Sony Digital Showcase, a small indie game was given a high-profile reveal. It stood out to Kotaku writers straight away. Goodbye Volcano High was described as a narrative-focused 2D game from a small Montreal cooperative called Co-op. Goodbye Volcano High drew wide attention online at the time of its announcement, thanks to its distinctive apocalyptic setting and its centering of a non-binary character in the visual novel. Players will take on the role of Fang, a dinosaur in high school, who learns that the entire world is about to come to an end. Given the stark realization at such a pivotal time in their teenage life, Fang has to make choices about how to spend the rest of their abruptly shortened life. Will you focus on family, friendships, or crushes? Alongside this, the game promises interactive rhythm and lyric system, in which Fang will be able to play instruments, write lyrics, and perform songs. And throughout this, Volcano High will focus on queer narratives, offering underrepresented communities and focus of their story. This all comes from a Canadian development studio, Co-op, working as a cooperative, artist-owned and run. It has previously created the joyous Gnog, I've never heard of that before. For the team, their relationship with fans, especially via Discord, has appeared to be an integral part of the process. Yeah, let's talk about the rhythm and lyric system. Yeah, this game also has some rhythm game aspects in it. I'd say that's actually the most game part of the game, the rhythm stuff. The rhythm shit looks hard. I have not played this game. I feel so fucking terrible for the keyboard users. Oh my god. Because it looks hard enough on just console. Keyboard, oh man, that looks like fucking torture. But yeah, and this game has songs, some original songs. Most of them suck. Some of them pretty okay. One of them actually is actually pretty good. This is one that I kind of vibe with. So hats off for that one specific song that's in the beginning. All right. As Goodbye Volcano High picked up steam and started developing a fan base and spawning many positive fan side projects, it also simultaneously drew the attention of a rather less enthusiastic audience. Users of 4chan's video game board were drawn to the game as their latest subject of ridicule, driven by its art style and the developer's pro-LGBT values, topics about which message board frequently espouses its backward and disturbing perspectives. Some there decided to create their own rival version. That would be Snoot Game. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this animation. Doesn't look great. And the voice acting, like I said earlier, fucking terrible. Terrible voice acting. I'll try to include a clip. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But not good. Really, really not good. The dynamic between 4chan and Co-op, a studio whose political leanings couldn't be more different, is a strange and unpleasant one as far as Goodbye Volcano High's developers are concerned. This only became more nasty with last year's release of Snoot Game, a parodic visual novel developed by anonymous 4chan users under the name of Cavemanon. It used modified and repurposed art assets from Goodbye Volcano High to create a sort of bizarre alt-right leaning fan game packed with anti-queer messaging made by people that aren't actually fans at all. Okay, alt-right. Fuck you. No, it isn't. They're just trolls. They're just trolls, dude. Come on. Like, dude, quit. They're reaching. They're reaching. They're just trying to paint a bad message. It is absolutely not alright. Alright. Absolutely not. I wouldn't even say it's a right-wing game. I would say it's just a game whose sole purpose is to not push a message, but to just fuck with people. The people they're fucking with, in this case, being the developers of Goodbye Volcano High. And it worked. It mentioned that Co-op has a Discord. And on the Discord, if anyone says the word Snoot, they're banned. They mention Snoot Game at all, they're banned. Even just saying Snoot, they're banned. Volcano High's original genderqueer protagonist is depicted in Snoot Game as a confused teenager who eventually detransitions with the help from the player, leaning on the laziest alt-right themes during the time when trans rights in the real world are ever more threatened. One playable ending has them shooting up their high school. Alright, spoilers. A reference to a Goodbye Volcano High meme that gained traction on 4chan after the game's announcement. It's not exactly subtle. Yeah, it keeps going like that. I think that picture is from... Oh, right, here. Co-op put its foot down. A member of the development team replied, saying that Snoot Game, quote, wasn't made in good faith, end quote, and that, quote, any decision about it has no place in our server, end quote. Following this, the inevitable 4chan attention it provoked, Co-op made its Discord private, invite only, and locked behind an application questionnaire that same month. In July's email newsletter, they explained that this was done to limit Discord raids they acknowledged had been happening regularly. Quote, the reality is, Co-op's email continued, that if you're making a game with queer characters, you will face harassment, no matter where you go, including on your Discord. Now, look, maybe that's true, to an extent. But come on, man. Acting like this is just going to bring on more. Trolls, I've been on the internet for a very long time. Trolls feed off of reactions like this. This is what keeps them going. The best thing you can do is just take it on the chin and keep walking. It's literally the advice that teachers give students. Just ignore them. Just ignore them and they won't get anything. That's how trolls work. Not how bullies in the real world works. But trolls online, absolutely. Just ignore them and they'll leave you alone. Alright, continuing. The issue is, Snoot Game is not a tiny aside, but rather has formed its own community, which co-op members say they believe are responsible for the Discord raids they've been experiencing. It even has its own dedicated fan art website with over 6,673 posts at the time of writing, much of which is NSFW. Yeah, I fucking bet. In a statement to Kotaku, Co-op expressed its dismay at the situation. They mentioned the sustained harassment they had been facing since 2020. Quote, when Goodbye Volcano High was announced, the studio told us, it reached a lot of people, many of whom decided to create their own fan works in response to it. Some of these creative responses were made to mock and attack us and our work. As a result, the team of Co-op experienced a significant amount of direct transphobic and homophobic harassment that persists to this day. Alright, obviously, these people shouldn't be harassed. No, that's shitty. But like I said, trolls feed off of reaction. Why do you think Chris Chan has been bullied so relentlessly for 20 fucking years? Because he kept reacting. Sure, you can say it's not his fault, he's autistic, he doesn't know what he's doing, sure. But these people, I'm gonna guess, aren't autistic. They should know what's going on. They should know this by now. They are not boomers. These are very obviously millennials. They should absolutely know how trolls work. Continuing, quote, we are not interested in attacking fan work, the developers went on. However, we want to make it clear that those works and the subsequent response to them has taken a toll on the individual people, many of whom are queer and trans, who are working hard on Goodbye Volcano High. Man, this article just goes on for fucking ever. There are a few major updates, blah, blah, blah. Alright, we're just going to move on. We're going to talk a little bit about Caveman. Caveman has been around for a long while. They've been doing shit on Newgrounds forever. Here we're on their website, itch.io. I've never fucking heard of this thing. But it basically just shows them a little bit about their projects. This one looks fucking crazy. I wanna hug that gator. We're going to talk a little bit about that right here on Steam. This is their upcoming game. This game is going to be completely separate from Snoot Game. I Wanna Hug That Gator is a choice-driven narrative about teenagers struggling to find their way. Help Inko, loser high schooler extraordinaire, navigate his budding friendships and romance while surviving being the only human in a dinosaur-filled school. So it's similar to the plot of Snoot Game. It's separate from Snoot Game. But it looks like it's going to be heading the same way. It looks about the same from what's on screen right now. Yeah, little text boxes, choosing your multiple people, your multiple choices. It's a high school dinosaur teenagers. Yeah, dude. And look, like, I don't know if I said it earlier. If I did, I forgot. But I'm going to go ahead and say it again. We here at Brax Plays Games do not support furries. Sorry about that. We do not support furries here at the Brax Plays Games YouTube channel. However, I am willing to overlook it if it's funny, which this looks like it's funny. Snoot Game was very funny and also just flat all around very emotional. And we play as a human, so. But yeah, that's it. The demo for I Wanna Hug That Gator is out. I might play it for my YouTube channel. But anyways, yeah, play Snoot Game. It's free. I'd recommend it. It's, like I said, funny, dramatic, good story. You could probably beat it in like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, depending on how much time you have on your hand. It's not a really long game. Way longer than Goodbye Volcano High, but, you know, not that hard. But, anyways, that's going to be it for me. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to stop by and watch one of my videos. It truly means the world to me. I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you have a great week. So may God bless your souls, and please have a wonderful night. Bye bye.